All systems have been alerted to your presence, sir.
I have a very bad feeling about this.
I hope you know what you're doing.
The Emperor has been expecting you.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Toy Chest, episode 33. What's today? June 16th, 2025. It's because we're doing this 2 weeks in a row, so I'm kind of like, got to have my bearings. We promised you if the Hasbro live stream was going to be interesting, we would drop a Toy Chest. Well, here we are. It was so bad. It was so good that Scott just still hasn't picked himself off the floor. So he's not here right now, but I'm your host, Darth Butcher. I've got Alexander Storm from SKN Network.
What's going on, everyone?
We got Blintz Transmissions himself, Tommy.
Here I am. I'm back.
Yeah.
I decided, they had enough money in the budget this week to bring me back. We had to kick Scott off the show for a week to do so. But
you see where our priorities are here at the Toy Chest, right? So, welcome, Tom. It's good to see you. Of course, we've been catching all your antics on Blitz Transmission and midnight, Monday Night Figure Ball and Out of the Basement. I mean, all those cool circle of just awesome news and all Black series, of course,
Yes.
But I mean, we're forced to talk vintage collection. We'll do Scott justice and people in the chat. I know Stu John, if you're in there, I know you want to talk vintage collection. But before we get into all that stuff, I've got to do some house cleaning. Shadow Council, hit that QR code or scan that QR code to find out what our Shadow Council is all about and join that ever-growing list. You guys are the heart and soul of the Starlight Digest. You make everything possible. You make us look so good. If, of course, on Wednesdays is our flagship show, you will be shouted out properly with sound effects and voice acting. All spare no expense. But wanted to give you guys a quick shout out. Plus, everyone who's being digested in the pit. But first and foremost, the reason why Scott's not here is because one of our own, Don the Dad Dorn, which happens to be Scott's father-in-law, is having some medical issues. He's okay, but let's throw out some positive vibes and get him back in the pit properly in there interacting with us. So Don, get well, and Scott, take care of him because we need him around. All right. So we have Commander Bly always in there first. I know YouTube's caught on and starts to erase his messages way early. But he's in there. Yeah. Commander Bly, best Hasbro live stream ever? Yeah, pretty much. And we're going to discuss why it was. We're all in about, it's all about it. Chet Maddox is here. Power of the First. I don't know, but you got the power. We've got Adam S. He wants all the Temple Guards. We're going to, Yeah, the Temple Guards. Oh, okay.
Hell yeah.
I'm getting ahead. I'm getting ahead. Rhino Hobbies. Hello there. A special Senate meeting. Yes. Again, we had to call in the troops for today.
Emergency session of Congress. That's what they called just now.
How Runner Base. Whoa, I ever forgot was a Monday. Well, again, not a scheduled toy chest, but an impromptu one because we have to. We can't let it sit for a whole week. We just can't do it.
No.
Yeah. Who else? I know a lot on the pits going in about Temple Guards, and of course, Commander Bly is up to his own antics in there trying to ban people. So we'll just
it's already started.
He's in there throwing his weight around. He's got to do it. Duchan is in there. I ordered 2 Temple Guards. I know in our Discord, which is in the link below, if you guys want to check out our Discord, he wants more. He's questioning he should have bought more.
Wow.
There might be ways of getting more, even though it says sold out. But we'll see. We've got, of course, there is Scott in the pit there, checking things out. We've got Phantom Menace Dennis, which is probably my favorite favorite name. I love the name. So cool. We've also got Landspeeder Luke. Cool intro. Thank you very much, man. Who else? Who else is in there? How Runner Santo 1414, of course. Commander Bly with the 199 super chat to clips from the stream. That is our first order of business, and we will get to that right about now. But we got Lock On Clegg. How's everything going, guys? Yes, it is going. Tommy.
Sorry, Tommy.
Come on, man.
He's spoken, man. I can't.
Come on.
It's gonna be a quick ban, okay?
Every week. Every damn week. You do this to me.
Yeah. There you go.
Well,
that's what 199 gets you. It gets these beautiful faces right here. But that's only what 199 gets you.
Yeah, exactly.
Couple seconds.
Yeah.
Couple seconds.
Commander Bly, you're going to be having your Father's Day gift returned.
Uh-oh.
There we go.
Look at this. Look at that. Look what Bly's hat. Look what he is doing.
Wow.
Not for free. Not for free.
Yeah, we've got a lot to get to. I know it's tempting. Yeah, Adam S. That Hasbro live stream had the high ground. Well,
it did.
I want to say this, like, okay, for the first time in a long time, which was kind of cool to see when that live stream was going on this past was it Monday, right? Or Friday? Friday's live stream, you know. I saw the chat and it was just positive. I mean, for the most part, 90% positive in a good direction, you know. And as we get into this, of course, you know, equally as important when we do these shows and all these other our community shows that we do, like Blitz and SKN, and like I said, out of the basement and Monday Night Figure Ball, all those channels, we are always about our collection, our collecting habits. We want Hasbro to do some good stuff, you know, and we'll discuss basically why it was a good live stream. But is equally important to if Hasbro does something outstanding and really cool, it's equally as important to let them know this is a direction we love. This is something that we would love to see in the future. Like what could, and it got all of our kind of like imaginations going, like, oh my God, you know, there's so much, you know, so much more cool stuff to be coming on.
No way. Scott, all right, guys, I'll see you. Have a good one.
Yeah. This is why you never trust Scott. You never trust him. Welcome, Scott, to the toy chest.
Hey.
He says he's not going to be here, but he's always here.
We already decided we're axing TVC for this episode. So
I was actually listening on my way home, so
that's why he's like, just got. Oh no, you don't.
So he's Don the Dad Dorn. He's doing okay.
Good.
They're keeping him over. They're keeping him to keep an eye on him. So I was kicked out of the room. He's like, he told me I needed to go home and podcast because
there you go.
As we all know, Don has, he needs something to watch. So.
Definitely. Well, Don, again, hopefully we see you in the pit on Wednesday. Let's go. Yeah. Awesome. Well, thanks, Scott, for that update. And thanks for joining us, man. But yeah, again, I was just kind of get into, like, you know, when we see something good, if you see something, say something. And again, on both ends, you know, if it's bad, hey, call them out, let's stuff, and we'll discuss why. But again, equally as important is good. So with that, I think we should do this. We should get into what they announced and everything, and then we'll kind of go into our spiels of like why this is something that we would love to see going forward. If it's going forward, is this a pendulum? Like I always say, is this something that they go really good and then they go back to like here's another
Hostage
Leia
figure.
Bosch. Here's a little Leia Bosch here for the 18th time. So again, but I'm trying to like, I'm in the corner of like, hell yeah, this was awesome. Honestly, before I used to be like, all right, let's get the vintage collection kind of like over.
Yeah.
Nah, dude. There was some bangers in
Give
the
me a freaking break, man.
I said usually.
Oh, God.
But not this time. Honestly, not this time. Scott, since you're
yes,
here,
sir.
and Stu John's here, so you guys could talk vintage collection. We're gonna go and get a snack.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna take a walk around the block real quick.
Yeah.
You go ahead. You go ahead. While we talk Happy Meal toys. You go,
Scott. I do actually have a question for you.
Yes, sir.
For do you want me to wait until you pull up the reveals to ask, or
Sure. Let's go. Let's do that.
I'll wait till you
Let's
pull
go
it
ahead and
up
the
first.
reviews.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Oh, Stu John's a Black Series guy. So, it was somebody. I forgot who it was.
Somebody in there. Yeah.
Stop the rumor.
Wow. All right. So here we go. We went ahead and cleared the slate this week on both our lists, our checklists. So what we've got going here are things that we have, of course, not yet received in hand. There were no individual figure releases this particular week, though we did have confirmation on the Snowtrooper 4-pack, which is over there on the right hand in the middle, bottom middle. I did also get notification while I was leaving work today that my 4-pack of the battle droids has also shipped.
Nice.
So Battle Droid 4-pack has shipped, and of course we've got the monster Darth Vader TIE Fighter with its monster-sized price tag that also dropped as well, and that is at the bottom of the vehicles and creatures list right there. We're reserving some spots, of course, for the San Diego Comic-Con reveals, and of course the May 4th pre-orders have reopened as well with the Cantina 4-pack with the cardboard backdrop, as well as the 3-pack of the Stormtrooper 3-pack. So it wasn't an action-packed reveal this week for the vintage collection, thank God, because even I wanted what came out in Black Series this week. So I mean that's pretty much the updates as far as the vintage collection goes. So fire away, Tommy. What you got, man?
Yeah, so I'm hearing lots of mixed things from mixed kinds of collectors, and I want to get the opinion of someone who is predominantly 3 3/4. You are 1/18 scale all the way. So what is the consensus on the Darth Vader TIE Fighter? Because aside from the price, I'm hearing a lot of people say, oh, this should have been something else. We already have a 3 3/4 Darth Vader TIE. What, and a lot of those are just kind of grumpy old collectors that are, shouldn't be in the hobby anymore anyway. But
right.
What's your opinion as like a diehard 3 3/4 collector that there's all this tooling and stuff went into this new TIE Fighter?
I'm actually incredibly excited about it. Honestly, that is my legitimate response to that. I've got a Darth Vader's TIE Fighter that came out in like 97. It has green launching missiles that come out of the wing ports. It never quite held up to the standards that have been set forth by the vintage collection vehicles nowadays. We have had, of course, the updated X-Wing fighter over time. We've had the E-Wing fighter. We've had even a TIE fighter, a basic TIE fighter we have with large wings. We've gotten those, but we've never had the updated Darth Vader TIE fighter.
Yeah.
At least that I'm aware of. I bought it and it's just stuck in my collection. I never looked again to see if maybe one popped up in the time where I stopped collecting all the vehicles and stuff.
Yeah.
But this thing, number one, it's larger. It's monster size. The replaceable wings also to give the battle damage effect. That is a key element right there. That is really cool.
Yeah, I agree.
The thing I'm not sold on just yet is the interior of the cockpit. It looks like it's really sparse, but even they said it's sparse because in the movie it was sparse. Right?
There was no reference.
A couple of decals. There were no references, so they did what they did, and overall, I'm really happy about it. What I'm not happy about is the price tag, because it was a hefty price tag,
dude. Yeah.
But I'm also not going to pass up on a Darth Vader TIE fighter. A, it's Darth Vader, and B, that's a unique looking TIE fighter, right? It's a one of a kind. So
yeah. What's the deal with what's the X-Wing in comparison to price? I'm not familiar with that.
X-Wing is about 109. Last time it was released, it was about 109. Comes with the Luke. It didn't come with the Luke. Didn't come with a figure. So all you had was the base vehicle itself. Okay. It's got all the landing gear in the appropriate places and all that. I think actually the Poe Dameron X with the orange X-Wing, they put a lot of effort into that one, and they didn't in the Luke X-Wing. It should have been the other way around.
Yeah.
But overall, it's really good, not great. Even they could have another update eventually, I'm sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was Hal Runner that has he's a 375 collector. He doesn't like it. I don't know if it's Hal Runner being Hal Runner.
You don't like the Darth Vader?
Wow.
Well, okay. Hal Runner also is notoriously not a fan of the original trilogy, really. So if they would have done a 3 3/4 inch, say, I don't know, Obi-Wan Kenobi's Jedi Starfighter or something like that, and updated one of those, he'd probably be ecstatic. Okay. So
yeah, I understand that. I mean,
yeah,
but
if you were a 50-plus-year-old geezer that loves that shit, though, the TIE Advance is your go-to.
Hey, look,
that's
even a not 50 years old just yet geezer, I want this because it does look like a definitive TIE fighter, and you guys know I'm a kind of insta buy Vader everything, right? And it does come with that. I think it's here. Look what I got. It does come with this Vader, I believe, right? This
is that the
one you got
the Obi-Wan Kenobi one? Yeah.
I heard that it was all soft goods or something. All soft goods on a new card.
Yeah. Over the top of his chest plate armor right here, it still looks like it's molded. It didn't look like it was soft goods, but see if I could pull up an image of it while we talk.
Cool. Commander Bly with the $4.99. Scott, scale of 1 to 10. How bad do you need the client?
The client. Oh wow! In the vintage collection, I will say that on a scale of 1 to 10, it's a good 6. I could use a client figure. It'd
be a good release, but it's not like a fist pumping release. But
no, not at all.
So I've been streaming a lot of the reveal streams with my friends at Monday Night Figure Ball, and we kind of like jump back and forth like on each other's channels every other stream. Right. And for the last 4 in a row, we've gotten our live audience to spam the Hasbro live chat with "We need the client" for TVC.
Oh, really?
And it's an inside joke. There's a page with a very grumpy collector on Instagram that constantly says, "We need the client" more than any other character in TVC right now.
Oh, so that's not true.
Very tongue in cheek.
Yeah.
Very tongue in cheek. We've been spamming that, and the Hasbro Pulse account actually replied in the chat on this last one, and they said they'll pass it along to the team.
Oh my god, boy!
So if that figure comes out, I have to buy it. Like just for the joke.
I mean, look at dude. You know, we're always saying, hey, let Hasbro know. And if that's the way to get it done, that'll get everybody on board, man.
So as you can see right here with the Darth Vader, it looks there we go. It's all molded plastic. There's no cloth goods over his chest plate right there. Yeah. So it's a good looking figure though.
Yeah. I see some people bring up the price point, in the chat.
Yeah.
And of course, I mean, look, dude, I was just about to say, it's like after that TIE Advance, I'm like, oh my god, I think I might get this and put it on top of my Vader DTOF and whatever. But at $139, it was $140. I'm like, wow, no, thank you. And it's not because I don't think it takes away from the vehicle itself. I think anything original trilogy, I think it's fantastic. Especially comes with the Vader and the broken wing and all, or the damaged wing and everything. I thought it was a very, very good piece. But that $140, I had to be like, all right, I got to save it because of what the other things that they announced. I'm like, I had to kind of revert back to like, no, stay in your lane and don't do it, because as cool as it is, maybe later down the line, maybe I'll find it. But, I can't jump on it. That's a steep
probably
price,
will.
Yeah,
it is.
It's just a steep price, dude.
I mean, I even thought about buying it because it looked so cool. It looked so cool on the stream.
Yeah. Maybe Lock E. What is that?
Lachlan
Thank you.
Clegg.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Lachlan Clegg Lars.
Lachlan. Yes. Yeah. If it is, then I'll of course I'll grab it. Yeah. Another figure to add to the Unpunched collection. Yeah. I mean, every time a vehicle should always come with a figure. Always.
I do love to punch the little hole out.
Oh yeah, because you hang yours. Yeah.
I do. Yeah.
Oh,
I do every time. Yeah.
Well,
I
in
do it
100 years
gently.
from now, when the vintage collection has got value, they're going to be punched and
God, even I got a TVC from Big Bad Toy Store this week.
Uh-oh.
What do you know? It's a Clone Trooper.
It is.
Clone Trooper. Come on, Tommy.
What?
That's gonna put you down a spiral that you probably won't be able to get out of, dude.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, I
TVC
mean,
clones. What?
Yeah,
What are
exactly.
you talking about?
But yeah,
Vindication.
but here's the thing too on the live stream, right? So they gave you the 4-pack of Snow Troopers, which is great, and then they give you the TIE Fighter, But I think more importantly, from what you were saying about like the lackluster as far as quantity, it's what they didn't tell us, or what they told us on the sly was like, it's the vintage collection is light because a major presence at Comic-Con, and then opposite that, the Black Series was heavy-handed because probably not a major presence. This is like this is going to be it for a while. Besides the exclusive we're going to get into right now, but like the Black Series was like blow your load now because Comic-Con is just going to be buying. Vintage collection is like, here's two great items, but just wait until July because it seemed like they were reserving a lot for the next wave. Like, and if they do this kind of like up and down with waves, I think that'd be cool. Where 1 month is heavy Black Series, 1 month is and then another month is heavy vintage collection. Therefore, you might see a little bit like, okay, I don't have to buy it all. You know what I mean? Like you did, like you bought so much, right?
Scott, what's that's another question. What's the deal with, I'm hearing, because I'm trying to do better about keeping an ear to the ground on TVC, and I'm trying to find where's like the grifter, angry people side of things, and you are more like a just an avid collector of the line. Would you have preferred the Snow Trooper 4-pack to come with an officer? Because I'm hearing some people say they wish one of the 4 was an officer, and I'm hearing other people say no, since the officer is the commander's coming out in that other 3-pack that was really hard to get, granted. It's good that they're doing just 4 troop builders in this one.
No, I love the troop builders. Honestly, that I believe a 4-pack like this. Keep in mind, like think about Enoch and the troopers that he came with, right? You can't if you buy multiples, then all of a sudden you got so many Enochs floating around, you don't need them, right? But at least with these, you get pure troop builders, right?
Yeah,
and
I guess
for me that
works.
works.
A pure troop builder, and then named
Yeah.
characters could be main released. Yeah,
Exactly.
I like that.
And the grumpy people, man, come on, calm down.
Well, I think like I said, even after we saw this live stream, so it was 90% very, very positive, right? I mean,
yes,
you're never going to get the 100%. Never going to get.
We lost Alex.
No,
Alex said we've been talking about TVC for too long.
Wow, he just bolted.
Yeah, I agree. I'm looking at the time and already getting the timeout. It's like
no. Honestly, I'm at the point now where I just turn off the chat. It's just like it's people banging their heads on the keyboards. I'm like, calm down.
For the most part, I don't even
imagine the high blood pressure and all those people.
Because it's like 3 people in chat. Honestly, it's 3 people spamming it, so it makes it look like there's 100.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So Hell Runner is saying that the Snow Troopers needed a commander. I don't know where you would do it in the Snow Trooper line, a commander, unless that's a made up, because there was no commander unless he comes with a different weapon or something. But
it's the rank insignia on the armor, right? And
quite shoulder armor is upside down on the commander.
Oh, okay. Oh, got it. Yeah.
Quite frankly, until they started releasing all these, I'm like, oh shit, there's different rank insignia. I never paid attention. It's watch something and learn something new every day on Star Wars, right?
Yeah. So. Well, the reason why we're kind of like, okay, just Vintage Collection, because Black Series blew it out of the water, dude, and you've got to
did.
admit this too, and I know you do.
Oh,
because,
absolutely.
because I know you that what you told me that you pre-ordered.
Yeah.
My thing is always been about character selection, and movie and all that stuff. And let's go ahead and pull up the Black Series list here.
There you go.
Okay. We're not okay. Before we talk about the Comic-Con exclusive, because that is like a whole segment within itself, right? The Barriss Ophi and the Jedi Temple Guard, two very, very much needed. Even like I said, even it's Clone Wars and it gets into us stuff. I was like, oh hell yeah, they look fantastic. I know that Jedi Temple Guard sold out on Pulse, but you can still get him on Big Bad Toy Store. He's available there, and I don't know about if there's an Amazon link. I know Barriss, there is an Amazon link. So you head over to Big Bad if you guys still want to pre-order some Jedi Temple Guards.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Why is Commander Bly calling me a fake fan? What is wrong with that?
Well, I mean, it's only fair because I say it 3 times.
If Bly said it, then it must be true.
Yeah,
I know.
Exactly.
But guys, the continuation of the Halloween figures was awesome.
These were knocked out of the park, man.
These are so good, man.
Much better than the last selection.
Yes.
Yes.
I am glad that the Halloween figures are getting into like main character releases, right? Like Azaz Ventures as a witch, a Grand Inquisitor as a Dracula kind of stuff. Cad Bane as Frankenstein. But the Ghost Imperial Guard and the Zombie Trooper and like the Mummy Zombie Trooper. It's that. Come on. I know that on Yak Face, I think he did say that there are 2 more in the system that are not the Halloween.
I think they'll be Christmas if I understand right.
Yes. And last, I think that in Comic-Con they might announce those 2 at Comic-Con because there will be some,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm curious on that. But yeah, the continuation of the Halloween figures is a must for me. I'm all about those gimmicky figures. I know that they're not as popular for some people, but they seem to sell out everywhere they go sometimes, especially the Christmas ones.
What's crazy with this is, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, this is the first time that we've ever had new soft goods tooling for a seasonal figure. Ever.
Yeah.
That's
they were
pretty
just
crazy.
repaint. Yeah, it's awesome. I love it.
Like, dude, the ghost being glow in the dark. Come on, man.
Yeah,
That's
good work.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
So what
Brilliant.
could you guys see that applied anywhere else in the Black Series? The glow in the dark effect, like for actual in-universe releases?
Anything with Dathomir,
that's a good one.
Yeah, even if it applies to the accessories like lightning,
spirits, the ghost.
Yes.
The ghost.
Good one.
Yeah.
The Jedi Ghost.
I mean, yeah.
Yes.
I did drop the link for the Temple Guard in our chat, so it is on Amazon. That is the link to Amazon. So if anybody needs it, it is right there. So just keep an eye on that.
For all you troop builders.
I also think it'd be cool if they did a glow in the dark cup of spotchka. That'd be fun.
Yes. Halloween figures are awesome. Super fans. Super fun. Super cool. I think so. I think if you're gonna do gimmicky figures, I know the Holocron ones were cool. The Holocron ones are awesome. But the credit ones and the carbonized, that was just weird.
I just sold all my credit and carbonized at ICC Con. Got rid of all of them.
Nice.
I like these, and I understand that these are all like they're exclusives to all these parts, and I'm cool. That's where I'm cool with exclusives. The Walmart and Targets and Amazon. It makes you that hunt is cool. I like that. And, even though, like I said, I have every single Halloween one, every single Christmas one.
Same.
Yeah, and I love them, dude. I bring them out in appropriate times, and
to me, those are more than they're. To me, I look at them as decorations for the season. Like when I am decorating my Star Wars room for Halloween and Christmas, those figures are getting unboxed, put up, and then they go right back in the box until the next holiday comes around.
Yeah.
We've got Nerd Alert checking in. What's up, everyone? Happy Monday night. What is up? And hold on, there was somebody else that popped in. Oh. Eric Coates, the grumpy people will buy them anyways. 100%. They're sitting there going, just cursing and they're click.
Entering their credit card number
Yeah,
as their I hate that I have to buy this.
Expiration. Yeah, exactly. How
Some of those
dare
older
me.
Christmas figures from a few years ago, they go for like 40 or 50 bucks a pop now.
They do. They do.
Yeah,
I'm
for
telling
no
you.
reason. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Gotta give that one to Mooch.
Very rare, but I do get them sometimes. All right. I'm bringing it up.
Yep.
Dun dun da da. Come on, dude.
Wow.
Brother.
Wow.
Mhm.
First off,
Wow.
like, okay, so
Wow.
these this doesn't do it justice, of course. If you guys
No.
watch the live stream,
Yep.
the first package, the first image there with just them on the Obi-Wan and Anakin on the platform, I was cool with that. I was like, I'm ready to just throw it all in on that. But then they kept adding more and they kept adding more and more and more. And then you could separate them out by putting Anakin on the droid and then Obi-Wan on the platform and then the lava effects. And I was like, okay, guys, like I felt almost like, all right, this is either going to be so outrageous in price or I'm getting so much in this package. That's what it seemed like to me. I was getting overwhelmed, but a very good overwhelmed. It was never with the force hands and the head sculpts and
extra hands, extra saber blades, extra head sculpts. I mean, it's everything we've been asking from the Black Series in forever. And it's like I was saying in our own personal chat that had things like this started happening, I would have thought twice about dropping the Black Series, right?
I hear you.
The value is there, man.
It's there, man. It's there. Going over and beyond of expectations on something like this. I think, like I said, if you told me, oh, they're making this, I'd be like, all right, it's going to be, kind of like, because I have the Unleashed version of this set, where it has, but they're statues, right?
The statues.
Yeah. I have them. Those are my centerpiece, right? So I have those on those, but like, having this as Black Series centerpiece, where especially Obi-Wan and Anakin with the lava behind him, that's that epic scene on the posters and then the movie, like you can recreate that. It's just beautiful. It's hands down beautiful,
It really is. And Hal Runner, no, I will not be going to Comic-Con, I believe. So I haven't been to Comic-Con in years.
I think so. What's crazy about this set to me is the fact that they include 3 different like lengths of swoosh effect blade.
Right.
That is, I didn't even know that was something I wanted.
Man,
I know. I saw this set, man.
They if you watch their like I said, the live stream, and they went through these pictures and everything, and I know they're like circulating where they were recreating actual scenes from even when Anakin was losing his belt when he first went onto the platform and he was like kind of like heading backwards and he comes crashing down. They thought of everything. Okay, let's put a lightsaber here, put this kind of stuff, and the way they did it, man, I was just like, okay, I'm all in, of course, and $109.99, right?
Yeah.
Same price as the Starkiller set.
Yes.
Which, in my opinion, I think there's more value in this.
Yes.
Than the and if I paid full price for the Starkiller set, then I'm ready for this.
109, I was like done. I was just kind of like done. It wasn't too cheap. It wasn't too expensive for me. It was kind of like honestly, it was kind of like, okay, that's 2 figures. That's usually $50 plus all the whatever. And then the exclusivity of a San Diego Comic-Con packaging deal. I know you pay for all that. So I was surprised at 109. I was like, whoa, because as they were doing, I'm like, this has got to be $150. $160, But no, man,
I was thinking with the platform, would probably be up to that price.
Right.
But,
when they kept adding and adding and adding, I'm like, dude, this is going to be out of control.
The lava itself, the scopes are fantastic. The droid, all these other scenarios that they popped into it. If you're going to release something for San Diego Comic-Con, this is what you do. This is your mainstay that people will seek that out at the convention, because this is probably going to be like the Black Series figures of the year, man.
Is this like the best year ever for con exclusives so far? Because we had a Ronin set for Celebration, and that was amazing. And now there's this for Comic-Con.
And Cold Slither too for Comic-Con as well for us GI Joe nerds. I mean,
I did forget to mention the Ronin release for it. It's out now.
Nobody cares.
I know. But the ones that want it,
I will say it looks better than I thought it was going to look.
I like the colored version a little bit better than the black and white because it adds, like, it's not like you're buying the same exact character. There are subtle differences that makes it kind of like if you're one or the other, you can go both ways, or you can buy both and still not feel bad about it, you know?
Commander Bly, they don't perspire.
You guys need to make sure that you're following Yakface on Instagram or paying attention to his website. From what I understand, shortly after this set becomes available physically at San Diego Comic-Con, so I'm assuming after either the first day or after the weekend, at some point, this set is going to go up in limited quantities on Hasbro Pulse, available to Pulse Premium members for the first hour that it's up. So if you want to get your hands on this, if you know someone that has Pulse Premium, if you're not going, make sure that you're paying attention. Yakface will post as soon as that set goes up. In the past, con exclusives have been limited to about 1 to 2. Like one, I've seen 2. They stopped with the 5 and all that stuff. So, you know, I'm hoping that it is verbiage in there where it's like they have their set, and even if it's released a day after or whatever, I'm hoping that Pulse has it. I do expect it to sell out. I really do, but I do hope there's a window there, you know, and we're going to try. I'm not making any promises. Especially if there's 2, I'm going to try to get our hands on one for a giveaway.
Wow.
Yeah. As soon as I see it at Ollie's, I will buy one to give away.
It'll hit Ross. It'll hit.
Yeah.
Now, I think limited quantities usually means anywhere between 1 and 3,000 units. So that's just for reference there. So it could be a lot more than we think. And Mooch is right. They're probably going to do limit of 1 or 2 per customer.
I expect something at this magnitude. You know, they're not going to allow the 5. They're not. It's going to. And when that window hits, it's usually sold out in minutes for the Pulse members. And then when it comes available to everybody else, it's not even existing. Like that sold out price remains.
Hopefully it's not like the Disneyland Star Speeder debacle. You know, where we're all in wait rooms for hours and
5 o'clock in the morning and nothing happens and 5,000 people. Also, you know, we should also probably let everyone know to expect something a little different from Comic-Con, because last year they had their whole lottery scenario where you went online, you put the situation in, and then you had a certain time that you need to hit the booth. They have not said if that was the course this year, but you probably would expect that because everyone last year didn't have a problem with it. So I've got a feeling that, you know, that Comic-Con app is going to be blowing up this year for the people down there.
Yeah, 100%. Like I said, that's going to be sold there. You're going to be able to take this home there. Same thing with the Cold Slither and all that stuff, right? It's like
I love it.
Physical items. Yeah, back to it's back to normal, but that scares me. Again, I've mentioned this.
Pre-COVID,
I don't like the back to normal. Back to normal.
Yeah.
It was easy.
This year, I think, like Scott was saying, with all the packs and everything else, and that's just not, you know, we're talking about the Hasbro offerings, not talking about the NECA or anybody else. I've done the math. It's almost about $2,500 worth of exclusive stuff so far across the line. So if you're a multi-line collector, my God, you better have a credit card ready.
DoorDash, baby, DoorDash.
DoorDash. Or just say you're broke and don't get any of it, you know?
Yeah, well, I mean,
well, once you pay for a night at Comic-Con, you will be.
Yeah, right.
Lance Peter Luke, he's going to San Diego Comic-Con again, and it might be the first time he waits in line for something at a convention. Again, it's the going pre-COVID Comic-Con stuff, which was it was the FOMO. It was hard to get. It was very, very difficult. Secondary market was triple the price the day after. Yeah. You know, and then when COVID hit, everything was like, Pulse, everything was like, no worry, you just go online, you get it. I had zero problems getting any convention exclusives. And it's like now this convention exclusive got so good that now I'm in the FOMO mode now. Like it hasn't even, details are not even out yet, but I'm in it, and I'm already going like, this is something that I want. And again, I do want to get my hands on another one for a giveaway because I think that'd be awesome. You know what I mean? Cool. So you know, we'll see. Gonna pester everybody who's going down the Comic-Con.
It will be an experience.
I'll buy you a Starbucks. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I don't think Starbucks is going to do it, brother. They
Is
got to
Rhino
put some
Hobbies
major
gonna be my
bucks in some
plug?
people's heads. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah, yeah,
Where's
yeah.
Rhino
Exactly.
at?
Yeah, we don't come out and play. Do wait, y'all. The day it drops at eBay for $600. Yeah, especially
surprised.
you know they might shock us and say, "Hey, we got we." I mean, if I'm Hasbro and I coming out with this set and the reaction for it, you know, it's like I think they should anticipate something like this. Like this is going to be a very, very, very popular set, not only with us old heads, but the prequel stuff does sell very well, and that's 2 generations of Star Wars fans.
Yeah,
I mean, hitting it hard, right?
Yeah, and I mean it's printing money at this point, right?
Yes.
Something like this is basically printing money, and yeah, man, it's the first. No, okay, wait a second. So, what are the chances of them releasing? Didn't they say they were going to release these figures individually too, or did I miss that part? Because I didn't watch this live stream live.
There is a long-standing rumor. If you watch Black Series Cantina, they did an episode like over a year ago with Yak Face. And Yak Face at the time said there was a rumor that Anakin and Obi-Wan, the new versions, will also be single packed for the main line. Which and Hasbro's obviously going to reuse those sculpts. They put all that effort into making. I mean, we saw it with the Ronin already, you know, and that's a much more minor character than Anakin.
That's a good point because on a live stream they said this is a head-to-toe retooling of the whole thing.
They went into great detail about the wrists too, all new wrist mechanisms and all that.
My only question would be, all right, are you going to reissue them? But are they going to come up with their lava stand? Like, are they? Yeah, then I have to get this.
Honestly, the new one, the single packed ones, I would guess that those would probably just come with lightsaber, swoosh blade, and maybe the push hand.
Yeah. Well, therefore, my FOMO radar just went, you know, another 1,000% because because I want this. I want this. Those individually, sure, maybe later.
Yeah,
but this is what I want.
And
I'm ripping it out of that pack. Even the package is awesome. I'm still ripping it out of the package.
If I get it, I'm going. You bet your ass, I'm going to tear into it just like I do all my other toys.
Well, I'm putting a blowtorch to it. No. Yes,
you got to get those burn marks in the tunic.
Well, then why would be like, oh damn, I should have got one because they do bleed, they do perspire. You know? Yeah, FOMO is real. Mando Mike is checking in. Also, again, I think let's see what Nerd Alert is saying. I'm 100% sure those will be re-released. They want you to buy 2-pack. They want you to buy the 2-pack and then trick you to buy the 2 separate with different accessories. We all know. If it's 1 to 2, that'd be great. Yeah, I mean, you would think, like I said, if they over prepare for this and they over anticipate, or if they had their finger on the pulse of the collection of the community, this would be something where they would limit it to 2 people and have a lot of leftover, like when it comes to pulse and everything. You hope, you know, again, but you know, in the past, it's always been kind of a thing, you know. And once especially in exclusives, once they're gone, dude. Like this is it.
Yep.
This is one that I think that if they can't put this readily in the hands of everyone that wants it, I think this is going to be a major fail for him. This one should be like months later. You should be able to, like on another live stream, hey, we've got a limited quality pop up.
Yeah.
You need to put this in people's hands because this is going to reshape people's thought processes of the Black Series.
Yeah. Well,
with the stands and everything else that goes with this. This is a premier piece. This is great for toy photography. Yeah. This is all the things that we've wanted from the Black Series. So
and on the piggyback that, you know, like I said, if it was a Hasbro Pulse thing where everybody had the opportunity to go online and hey, if supplies sell out, they sell. But Comic-Con has become very inaccessible to a lot of people for a lot of years, and it's not our fault. It's not Hasbro's fault. It's just the people of the convention itself has made it very, very difficult for us to return to Comic-Con every year because it got corporate. A lot of corporate passes getting handed out, so therefore our places get replaced by people who shouldn't even be there. You know what I mean? Honestly, that's why the reasons why I stopped going is because I'm looking around the crowd here I can't talk to. You know what I mean? I used to be able to go there and just start talking to anybody, and they spoke my language. They were wanting me. Now it's just like, I don't know, my friend got me a pass, and I'm like, well, you're taking up a spot that could be, you know, for somebody awesome. So with that, like, I hope that is a whiteboard kind of thing, right? They have it. It's like, you know, like Comic-Con. all right, it's an exclusive, but let's not really just depend only on that. Like you said, Alex, I wish it was like, if you want it a month early, then this is the place to go. Fine for people who are there. But in a month, we're going to have this limited quantity, and when it sells out, it sells out. But at least it's an opportunity, because what they said about the Cold Slither thing was said it, and I don't know if they really mean it. They said, hey, quantities to be sold here, and what's left on the floor will be on Pulse. And I'm like, well, that's 5, 100, 2,000, whatever.
Not enough.
Not enough. Especially when it comes to like Star Wars stuff, right? I mean, like, so that's where I'm a little nervous.
We'll have to see. I mean,
yeah. I mean, it is what it is, right? I mean, we can't control it. So
I'm just excited that we're finally getting the little set piece. It's having
let's
that
talk
little
about
extra bit right there, man.
Yeah,
it just makes it that much more special, right?
And going into the whole thing about why the live stream, why we were kind of like excited about the live stream itself. Why are these releases and what they talked about like, oh my God, this is probably the best one they did. Well, it's something that for me, it's 2 reasons. It's character selection. The Temple Guard, Barris, even the Vintage Collection stuff, the TIE Fighter, because I think Scott's right. They haven't released the Vader's TIE Fighter, TIE Advanced, since the Power of the Force 2 days. Like, honestly, this is like a definitive model. Like they actually told us they paid attention to the archive footage and made something that Black Series always concentrates on, where Black Series looks at a model and goes, this is screen accurate. Where
didn't the old one have like missile launchers on the
it had green missile launchers,
and the wings exploded, right?
No, it didn't. It was like a dark bluish color. It didn't match what was on screen. It wasn't right.
I mean, and so I know there was only like 2 characters, but again, it's those like I said, Barris was key. I think another Jedi, and her story is very important in the Ahsoka line. The Jedi Temple Guards is an army builder. Again, you can really, especially if hopefully we get more Jedis in the future, you can have more Temple Guards and have that line, just like the Imperial Royal Guards. It's the same kind of concept, So that's where I rate my live streams, and where like, all right, this is good because these are additions, not replacements. You know what I mean? I like additions at this point. Replacements when needed, I get that. Especially if you're trying to bring in collectors and you're doing like, archive and stuff like that. But that set with the environment pieces, I think it's since they did the Darth Maul land speeder, the Stap droid, we were like, oh, dude, this is a direction. We get other things other than a figure, something that's environmental to it. I'm still, like I said, crossing my fingers on vehicles, on more of these things. Like, let's reissue the cantina and make it a build. Come on, like that's where I want to see the Black Series go.
So in 2007, they re-released the Power of the Force 2 version of Darth Vader's TIE Fighter.
So
they added
already like a 10-year-old. It was already a 10-year-old sculpt at that point.
It was already a 10-year-old sculpt. I think they put some cannons where the missiles usually launch. So there was a couple of cannons in there too. So it's not screen accurate, but if you don't want to spend your $140, you can get one on eBay right now for $65. There you go.
Okay. Well, there you go.
Might do it for the archive. We got Zach BSC checking in. What's up,
It's
man?
Zach from the Black Series Cantina podcast. Make sure you go check out.
Oh, nice.
Boys, Zach and Mike Case over at the Black Series Cantina podcast. And I think it was that Yak Face interview they did was, I want to say March or April of 2024 is when that came out. So
awesome.
You have to scroll back, but you could find that episode. It's awesome.
I go to Yak Face's site maybe once or twice a day.
Same.
We've been that the dude is awesome. He's saying February 2024.
There you go.
Nice, dude. Nice. Thanks for that. With the, like I said, I want to stress, like I said, if something is good, then that's what I want to like. Nailed it. Now, I understand that it, like say $110. I know that they can't hit that every single live stream. I know it, and I know there's gonna be like things that, because there's always that gray area of bringing in new fans, bringing in new collectors, and giving them the opportunity to jump into collecting itself. Blacks, I don't know about vintage collection, how hard it would be. So if somebody wanted today, like I want to get into 3 3/4 building or whatever, is it a good time, or how far back would they go to, need to go? Is it something that they could reinvent themselves again? And same thing with Black Series,
Yeah.
Scott,
that'd be a great video. I'd love to see from your expertise.
Sure.
Maybe the cantina is a good place to start, but like if you wanted to build the most definitive display of this planet or this scene or this ship, what would you need from the entire catalog of the past almost 50 years of Star Wars action figures? What would you,
Jesus Christ,
if you were curating,
put them on the spot.
if you're curating the best display possible for that scene, what figures do you recommend are essential to new or old to that display?
I do think there is going to be some gaps. You're going to either have to break down and buy the other one because they're not going to make, but go ahead, Scott.
Over the course of from Power of the Force 2 to where we actually from all the way back to the true vintage through now, I want to say we've had almost every single Cantina alien, if we're speaking about the Cantina, right? Specifically when the Cantina comes out and we get the Tonica sisters, those two are like the last real truly sought after characters for that. So it is feasible that you could pick up that and completely fill it with almost every single character from both the special edition and the original release. Instead of Lax Sivrak, you got the weird elephant dude with the robot legs. You could fill it. So, but I'd have to think about other scenes, but I want to say that the Cantina is the one that really pops out as being
man. No, Mike with the $2, Tommy's mustache is
there you go.
Point. I mean, we're all thinking it.
Thank you. My mother hates it, but she's the only one that I know that hates the mustache. So I told her, sorry, I'm keeping it.
Did you tell him it's it's a requirement by the job?
It is a job.
It's a job requirement.
Yeah, that and oink oink every time I start the show. But I gotta give a shout out to John Graber, Space Jockey, because I didn't get to tell the story.
Okay,
I decided to skip the show two times in a row like a loser, but I met him in ICC Con. He was probably my favorite. I called him my favorite glup shitto of the ICC Con because probably 5 or 6 times throughout the weekend, this man would walk up to me, no shoes on, and he would walk right up to me, and he never introduced himself until like the 4th time that he did this to me, and he would just go, "Hey, I watch you on Sarlacc Digest," and I'd go, "Oh, cool, man," and he goes, "I spit on Black Series," and then he would just walk away without a word. Like nothing. and then like a couple hours later, I see him. I'm walking. I'm like, "What's up, man?" And he comes up and he goes right up to me. "I spit on Black Series." Just gone. Disappears into the crowd. I'm like, "Who the hell is this guy?" And then he told me who he was, and I'm like, "Oh, I know you."
Okay, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's the way you do it, man.
It's a magical place, isn't it?
Yeah,
it is.
Well, I know that, Tommy. I don't know if you were on our show, but we were talking about conventions and stuff, and we did put ICCC Con.
I did watch your your episode. Yeah,
as our top of like the ones that we definitely want to get to, and we're gonna make a better effort, especially next year. Yeah, and again, we'll come up to you the same way, just kind of like, I don't like Tommy Bliss transmission. I spit on you, and but you're like, I know you. You're like,
no, we walk around with him, but we've got a collection cup, and it just has $5 to kick Tommy off the show.
Dude, that would be awesome. Yeah.
The best part was I did all my autographs that I do from celebrities. I do the first action figure in 3 3/4 scale of their appearance of that character. So whether it was the voice actor's version of the character or whoever. Right. So I had a box full of 3 3/4 stuff, and he saw the box and he was like, "See,
so proud.
You're maturing." He was like, "You're becoming a better person by doing this."
Man, the tug of war between the Vintage Collection and Black Series continues. We cannot blend.
It was actually, I think Scott hired him to follow me around at the con.
Yeah,
He
took Sarlacc funds for 2 reasons: to troll you and also to get shoes. But John Graber didn't get the shoes.
No,
he used that money to troll Tommy. So.
Yeah, man. It was crazy. I've been saying it. Like, I'll catch myself. Like, I'll be talking to my friends. I'll just be like, "Yeah, I spit on Black Series."
That's good. That should be a shirt.
Yes,
It's like a but I mean because we love it.
That would be awesome.
You just have people walk up and say, "What?
Yeah.
What? Yeah.
just
Joke. Calm down."
Oh man.
yeah.
So that's Commander Bly. That's where Sarlacc Patreon money goes.
It
There
does.
it is.
Yep. It goes to Troll Tommy in real life. Well, it's all Bly's money anyway, so it's like
It is all Bly's money. Yeah.
yeah.
It's circular. That's how.
Yeah. It's awesome.
You're spending your inheritance here on the Sarlacc Digest just to get rid of you.
That's what it is. Yeah.
So cruel.
It's for a good time now, right?
Yeah.
Not later. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, Hasbro, if you're listening, if we can have any influence on this stuff, this is the type of stuff that we just kind of go, we sit back and melt in our chairs going, wow, that like home run, knock it out of the park with the exclusive. I know it sucks that it's an exclusive because again, it's one of those things where I think every collection should have something like this. It's not a repaint. It's not a, where it's been done before, just a packaging, but no, this is kind of like one of those things I go, this is what I've been waiting for a long time. I said that with Andor, like this is something I've been waiting for a long time, and with the Black Series stuff like this, like I have the entire Unleashed collection and they're basically statues, but they all have an environmental piece. And
they came out in what, the 2000s with the prequels?
Yes.
Those are cool. Those are really cool.
Yeah.
And I
except they fall over. They're like they're so pliable that they
in the heat they wear, but I mean, I still have them all, and I used to dream about the continuation of that stuff. Like, what can they come up with? When I heard that they had a Gamorrean Guard, Imperial Guard in the making before they canceled the line. I was like, these are so awesome, and they were only $15, right?
Did they do a General Grievous? I think my dad had the General Grievous one as like a desk ornament. That was super cool.
Yeah. They have the three that they did for Revenge of the Sith was the Anakin Obi-Wan duel and General Grievous, and they Shock Trooper and Yoda and the Emperor. So they had the Yoda the Emperor, Shock Trooper.
So 5 of them.
Yeah. So that was the last they did them. Yeah.
So here's my question, right? Keep in mind, and this is a question for each of you here, right?
Okay.
Keeping in mind what we're getting with this exclusive set, right? The platforms, the lava flow, all of that. If they could continue doing something like that, what would a wish list be for each of you for a character that would have some kind of really creative environmental stand piece? And for I'll go first really quick. I'll go first really quick. I would love to see Han Solo and Chewbacca on the landing ramp of the Falcon.
Just like the Unleashed.
Just like the Unleashed, right? Yeah. But if you could have that the ramp, the boarding ramp to the Falcon with the struts going up.
Yeah.
I mean,
mine is the best spin. I Am Your Father. Just whole, I mean, that's the most iconic thing in Star Wars. And I would be like, I'd buy someone in Starbucks at San Diego Comic-Con for that,
you have to just, up your bribing, brother.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Okay, you can get a venti.
I'm getting a Trenty from that man.
Yeah. Before Alex and Tommy's answer, but Lance Beer, look, does he get credit for some credit for showing Hasbro at 6-inch collectors want world building? Dude,
absolutely, man. I subscribe to you, and I've been building stuff from your 3D files, man, and I'm impressed, and I hope so.
Absolutely, because I mean, yes. Mm-hmm. What are your guys' answer? I mean, we got original trilogies up here, so
yeah. I would do something because knowing from the toy point of mind of using the mold again, I would do Ahsoka and Anakin in the World Between Worlds.
Ooh, very cool. It's just that platform is all. Hey, there's where your
reuse the character
can go too. That's pretty cool, man.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Sorry, Tommy.
This is such a difficult one for me because I don't. What's funny is they kind of did something like this back in like 2015, 2016 with like the centerpieces.
Oh,
The problem was that they chose to do it with Rey, Kylo, and Jyn Erso to start instead of,
But
they did like
and
a
the
bit of a
figures, those were
pop
almost
loop,
unleashed
right?
though, because the figures weren't posable, right? They
They
were
weren't
just little
posable, yeah.
statues. So it was like a return of the unleashed figures.
Yeah, I think they just picked the wrong stuff. Like I know they did Hoth Luke, I want to say.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have them right.
Yeah.
Yeah, Han, Luke, and Vader. They did Vader, Hoth, Luke, and then they did
Snowspeeder Luke, right? It was
Yeah,
Snowspeeder
yeah,
pilot.
yeah,
Snowspeeder,
at the
yeah.
at foot. Yeah,
I don't. I feel like I'm compelled to go prequel trilogy, but I'm gonna not do that. I'm gonna pick something incredibly niche, which would be in the premiere episode of the Clone Wars TV show. It's Yoda and those 3 clone troopers. They crash in that escape pod. I would love to see the crashed debris of the escape pod and them climbing out of it as like a little Dio piece. That would be really. That's probably my number one right now.
Wow.
Like,
Okay.
That for me is a cornerstone of my Star Wars childhood.
Dude,
is watching that episode.
there's
Take note, Landspeeder Luke.
Yeah, there are so many like that. The one that I said was like popped immediately in my head, but then it's like, okay, are they just with Black Series? It might just be like what is it called, like companion terrain pieces versus the entire kind of like set, right? So it's it's like I said, using the Unleashed as a blueprint, where Grievous is only standing on like a broken part of a wall, like Luke is on the Death Star steps and he's got the steps where he's coming down. So it's like those are like environmental pieces, but they're very
iconic.
Specific. Yeah, they're
iconic.
It turns all of these into statues instead of world building that you get, right? So where does that lie now? Do we because again, this set right here, the Mustafar set, can be, because that is a scene. That is like almost a complete scene that you could do, right? It's not just a broken off piece in doing it. So in my opinion, I would want a scene versus small, but here's the thing, I'll take small environmental companion pieces and I'll be happy with. I'll be like, I could ride to the sunset.
You want more like a vignette than
if I want the I'm your father scene, I want the like Vader standing here with the bridge and Luke with the tower and hanging right there, and that's a scene. I don't need the whole thing with the doorway, but that's just like, again, then it's turning all these into statues, where I don't know if that works in a action figure line.
Well,
otherwise,
let's be honest,
they're going to be, that'd be great.
They're going to be statues anyway. We're just going to put them on the display, and they're not going to move.
Until you dust the shelf, and you, but that's
repose them.
Well, until you try to dust the shelf, and then you knock 10 of them over, and then you start,
curse,
and then actually Bly had a good one. I was gonna say that if this was my prequel trilogy pick, that would have been my Obi-Wan and Django on the platform on.
Man,
they did that Unleashed. They did that in the Unleashed, and it was gorgeous because they had like little raindrops molded into the
Jango
platform.
Fett holding back young Boba Fett. And then, and that's again very, very cool. Like that's my favorite collection of that are not action figures. I have all the Unleashed. That's my favorite thing that I hold on to.
It's funny too, because I was thinking about the people are talking in the chat now about shelf dives. I've gotten more upset about 10 action figures falling from a shelf than I have about getting in a car crash. And if that tells you anything, about
it's true.
Oh my god,
you got to get some stands on those figures.
Yeah, get some.
Well,
get
it doesn't.
Tosche Station Emporium stands.
Okay. I love my Tosche Station Emporium stands, but whenever it's 110 outside, like it was this weekend,
can't help
all of a sudden, it's not. The stand is still on, but this bastard just keeps falling over.
They start leaning like this. They start doing the Michael Jackson. Yeah.
And
see, I'm a smooth criminal.
I'm waiting for those Moochers 3D labs to come to me now.
Yeah. Now I have to make a secure kind of like hook that holds the leg on its hidden stuff. Yeah. So, hey, here's an idea. I want to get Landspeeder Luke on, and we could do like a one-on-one kind of like shop talk on 3D.
That'd be cool.
And stuff. I think that'd be
great.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Throwing the invite out there now, Landspeeder. Yeah.
You guys are actually in the same time zone, so that's
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'll make it work, man. That'd be awesome. Let's see here. Yeah, Django. Yeah, Commander Bly. Okay, so you said the Django one. who said, I know I was trying to go back in the Luke here was it. Zach said also they did some sequel figures bases and Kmart Jyn Urso, but none of them sold at all. Yeah. Those were the centerpiece. Yeah, Luke with base, the only one that did well. Yeah. The sequels kind of just put a stop to a lot of things, a lot of momentum that I think they could have progressed on a little bit more. It held on to it a little longer to see some things through rather than stopping. And that's like one of my major complaints with Hasbro in the past has been like they tried something and it's like, okay, no fault to Hasbro, but the movie didn't do so well, or there was too much toxicity involved in that particular show or whatever, then therefore nothing gets get it made. Like Rancor. We talked about the Rancor how many times, like just re-release it, and then they're not gonna. And I'm like, no, I refuse to say
no.
No, Hasbro, I want the Rancor.
Butcher's had enough.
I've had enough of this. Yeah, nerd alert. I would love anything Camino in the BS. Yeah, dude.
Seriously.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah. Give me the Kaminoans. That's what I want.
That'd be great.
Yeah,
and their little chair that comes down so they can have a conversation.
Oh, the spoon chair. I just use a soup spoon for that.
I'm so upset that the Kaminoans were repronounced because Dexter Jester didn't call him a Kaminoan.
Kaminoans.
Yes.
Them cloners. Damn good ones too.
Yeah. So damn Omega. Yeah, we need the Rancor. I need the Rancor.
Rancor's my trigger word. I don't.
It is. It's a yeah.
It's just the way it was handled. The whole thing, the way it was handled, and the stretch goals, the price, and the whole bit. It was just, it just wasn't handled properly. I think honestly, if they revisited it and it could pass if they revisited it and rethought some of those goals.
Hey, we know now that Tommy, if we start some sort of getting loud and petition, they might send it off to the group. So
maybe we need to stop petitioning.
That's what we need to do.
Client, and we need to petition Black Series Rancor.
Yeah. So no more client. Now it's Rancor, and maybe we'll start making some posters.
It's coming up on the 5-year anniversary of that, right? Pretty soon.
Yeah.
The failure of the Rancor.
Because it was COVID-ish.
Yeah.
Good grief. This is part of the problem though, is that if something doesn't go the way people want, it's a fold my arms. Well, I'm never gonna do that again because you people didn't like it.
Yeah.
No, you can't do that, man. You're cutting your nose off to spite your face. There's still a market for it. It's just the way that you pivot, you adjust, you make those tweaks.
Pendulum, dude.
I mean, to be fair too, the marketing on that was just awful.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, we have a joke with Zach at Black Series Cantina that towards the last week of it, he was marketing the HasLab more than Hasbro was marketing the HasLab. So I mean, when you have content creators that do this for fun, that are marketing something better than the company is,
unpaid.
That's when you know it's bad.
Yeah.
Again, the Rancor should be a made-to-order figure like Dragon Man, like the Sentinel. Just make it to order. If you don't want it, you don't have to buy it. But there's a certain amount of people that would. Yeah. That way you cover the cost. I didn't buy Dragon Man. I know Chet bought 2 of them. Yeah. He really wanted it. They still made the figure. That's how they should bring the Rancor.
I agree, man. Yeah. They had close to 8,000. Oh, they had like 7,500 backers, and I will. I mean, that could be a thing. So even if it's 7,500, man, that's a lot. You know what I mean? There
was someone. I think it was Monday Night Figure Ball. I don't remember if it was. I think it was Wilbon, the host of the show. I was watching their last week's episode, and he brought up a great point about the Rancor, which was I know a lot of people were upset about the price being $350. However, a hot toy is like $260 to $300 before the tax. And I mean, the Rancor was bigger than a hot toy. So, and it was newly sculpted, fully painted, hyper articulated. You had the fingers even articulated on that. So
paintouts were awesome, dude.
Once he put that in perspective like that, I can't believe I've never thought of it that way. That's a great comparison to make. If you're not willing to drop $350 on something that's bigger than an item that is usually around $250, $300, then that honestly, that really,
Yeah. I just think there's room to revisit there. I really do, but Hey,
I
again,
mean, the cardboard and scatter terrain just killed it. It killed
that
the
a
momentum.
lot of
on it
people,
right
a lot
there.
of people
Yep.
put all their money on the tiers, and the tiers didn't speak to them, and
Yep.
that's what did it, right? I mean, we see that, we saw that with the Rattler a little bit. The patches
Oh,
was the first
yes.
like, oh, and then they got the tiers actually saved it, later
Yeah,
on.
yeah.
But I mean, that's and you should never go into like 350. What am I getting next? It's like 350 for the Rancor, and just
Right.
put that in perspective. Everything else is bonus, but that's not, they didn't train us this way. They trained us to be a collect, like it's the HasLab plus all the tiers is the value of what you're doing. And again, people are that's a huge commitment to make for a year and a half, putting your money out there with nothing in there for about a year and a half, right? So there is that, but I think Alex was right. I think a discussion should be brought up to where the Rancor and a build a figure on Star Wars. I think Star Wars is in a good place. I think a momentum, especially if they have more reveals like this, even if again it doesn't have to hit home runs every single time, because that's gonna really spoil us. And so when they want to reissue a Leia Bosch, they're not going to be able to.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it's going to kill brand new collectors, which, like I said, as a somebody who got back into the hobby, I appreciate the fact that I was able to, and it was a time where I can get figures that were already released, and I think that always needs to be a thing. So I'm okay with the repackaging. I'm okay with another figure, but not hostage figures. But again, the father and the son and the daughter, I think would be awesome as a set piece like that, and
That
maybe
would be really cool.
and maybe because of Ahsoka 2, because that's where it'll come up again, and that's when it'll be relevant again. I think that would be an awesome possibility for that. So
yeah, that'd be damn cool.
Yeah, I'm very interested in starting petitions. So especially when it comes to like Black Series and HasLab or made to order or whatever it is, whatever we're getting, and if it's gonna be, like I said, where it can take these shelves and start to add environments to them, even if it's little, I'm all for it, because again, there's nothing to something, Hey, Matt, and like I said, and Lance Peter Luke's in there too. It's like where Hasbro won't, the 3D printers will, the third party will. We will do it, especially in a Black Series scale. It's something that there is available. You just got to search for it. Yeah.
Dude.
I want the mural just for the Rebel crew, the Rebel Black Series I have. Just to have them in front of the
I ordered a Sideshow. They had the mural. You could actually order the mural of the Rebels crew with the Loth cats and the Loth wolves and all that. It's a what do you call it? It's just a print. It's just a really nice print for $60. It's pretty big. I'll drop a link in the description too.
Yeah, I'll have to check that out.
Nerd Alert is number 1 on our petition signing. It starts here. It starts today. This is for the Rancor, right? Nerd Alert, because that's the one I want to see.
No, it's for TVC client.
Oh, the client. No. Hey, look, maybe we could bring them both up at the same time. See, because TVC client, that's a $17 figure. That's no brain. I'll even buy one to support it if they're gonna listen to the community. If it becomes a big loud voice, I'll buy a client. I'll give it to Scott. Here's 2.
Here's the client.
Here's the clients. His twin brother.
Scott,
okay, so. Yeah, I dropped the link in the chat, and it's $65 for the Rebels mural. Thank you to Adam. He's the one who actually found it, and
awesome.
He sent me a link on Facebook, and I'm like, oh, and I just bought it. Thank you, Adam. So it's beautiful. So
hell yeah,
very cool.
Well, is there anything in the rumor mills or whatever that we can expect from Black Series or Vintage Collection that we haven't heard of, or any leaks that we heard of for July for San Diego Comic-Con, or is it just they're holding a very tight lip on it? Because again, on the live stream, they kind of stress like, hey, Vintage, this is a light one, but it's light for a reason.
I have a sneaking suspicion there's another TVC HasLab on the horizon.
Yep.
I have a sneaking suspicion. I have no idea what it would be this time. I know I don't. We as the community did a great job with the Ghost predicting that, but I really think this time I'm at a loss.
I don't think it's so they again, unless they're rearranging their rules again. They always said they're going to run one HasLab at a time, and so the next one we know is going to be, or that was announced is classified GI Joe. So and I'm expecting Comic-Con to announce that, or no, they're announcing it end of June. That's what they said. End of June.
End of June.
HasLab, and that runs for 45 days, right? So that's going to go in. So maybe August, September for a another HasLab Star Wars wise.
God, I'm so broke already.
Peter Luke brings up a great point here. If you go to yakface.com, if you want to get spoiled on things that are going to get revealed sooner than later, you can check out Yakface's master list for both Black Series and Vintage Collection.
Awesome.
I think he has one for retro even as well.
Oh, wow.
Ooh, nice. Yeah. Oh, okay. The 2025 master list.
Yes, the 2025 master list.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. There's TVC HasLab could be anything. Would they go A New Hope or something else? Look, man. Well, as much as I want original trilogy, like I will back original trilogy ship. If it's a ship, I will back a HasLab ship. As long as it's original trilogy. Yeah, even if it's Jedi Starfighter, even if it's prequel stuff, I will definitely back it. I mean, what did they have? They did the play set, which I don't think they're going to do another play set.
No, I don't think they
for
would.
a while. For a while.
No, you don't think so? Because
they're going to spread it out.
If we're going to New Hope, or if we're going to Vintage Collection, I'm thinking either a Death Star playset, like an updated Death Star playset that could cover 2 movies, right? So you could do something like that, or there's always been rumor about the Sandcrawler, which
Sandcrawler I would buy. I'd
cool.
back it. Yeah,
that'd be cool.
Yeah.
I mean, they did the Jabba Sailor Barge, which is technically a vehicle, and then they did the Razor Crest, the space one. Then they did the Cantina. So
the Ghost
and the Ghost, right? So, but the only thing original trilogy is the Cantina and the Jabba Sailor Barge. So,
dude, I'm not gonna lie, a Death Star playset would cook me. That would
always,
give me.
So
I'd be done on that, man. Yeah.
I know Bly is saying like, no, seriously, why retro? And I know that like Scott,
I love retro.
That retro playset went up. Oh, it's not a retro playset, but it's like the half retro.
Oh yeah.
One. The TVC one?
Yeah.
I pre-ordered that today.
Did you? Okay. So again,
why are you giving me shit, Tommy? You're playing
who said that,
buddy.
Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain.
Yeah. That's why I call it the half and half play retro, because it's like cardboard bitch. But I've been saying like it'd be interesting to get a actual play set with like you put the figure on there, you move, you slide it here, the doors kind of like it's like gimmicky stuff, right? We haven't seen gimmick stuff in Star Wars, which I don't want in Black Series. Vintage Collection, it might be a little bit jarring since we haven't had gimmicky play sets in a while, and all of a sudden getting one. A Death Star one is kind of like that, but I would love to see a modern take to something like that, like the Star Destroyer playset, right? It's very minimized, the Death Star stuff. What would that look like? And having, like I said, the bridge, the trash compactor, all of these things, what would it look like? Would it be cardboard?
Turbo lifts?
Yeah, it'd be interesting to visit that.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's in their thought process, kind of going back to that gimmicky style. Would that sell today?
I don't know. I think it would. I'm also trying to think of other things it could be, right? What about Empire Strikes Back? And Empire Strikes Back, and Lance Peter Luke points out a good thing here. We could see them doing a $600 Falcon with better paint and new figures.
Yeah, $600.
I mean, but it's kind of hard to beat the big Millennium Falcon that they already released. The thing is massive and it's gorgeous, but
that's one of Daryl Dupree's babies right there. Is that Falcon?
It's I bought that thing at Comic-Con the day it was released, and it was $150. I carried that shit around like I was lugging around luggage, man. It was
dinner table for the day,
Yeah,
seriously.
I have the and I have the D'Agostini Millennium Falcon model, the 3-foot model that was
oh my god.
I have it. I have every part I have to put together,
Wow.
And
from the ceiling.
Yeah, well, it came the last issue came with the wall bracket, so you can have it in flight mode, and you can have it in landing mode too. But I have all that, so that's my definitive. I mean, that was what, $1,250 overall, like after it was all said and done.
Crazy.
God.
Yeah,
Lance Peter Luke
sitting in a box down here.
Yeah. Lance Peter Luke asking when was that one released? That was the 2008. It came out the same day that the Clone Wars figures debuted.
That'd have been the Saga collection, right?
It was the Clone. Yeah, it was Saga collection, but it was all released on the white Stormtrooper.
The Clone Wars banner. Yeah,
the Clone Wars banner. So
Nerd alert thinks gimmicks are need to have a comeback. Again, not in Black Series. Not in Black Series. No way. It just wouldn't work. It just doesn't work, on that. But I don't know. Like I said, someone from Scott to see his collection and have now that's like, Boba Fett's mech warrior jetpack kind of stuff, that I'm like, does that work now? Kids don't buy these. Yeah, exactly. I don't know.
Yeah.
But at the same time, in the same breath, what are they releasing they're releasing the Epic Heroes with the
that's what that line's for.
I mean, yeah. So,
let's see here. Commander Bly, there sure have been a lot of snowtroopers dropping like snowflakes. I'm gonna guess an Echo Base playset. Boom! That would be.
That probably would be real
cool.
That'd be interesting.
Yep.
Yeah.
There wasn't a whole lot to Echo Base. I mean, you had the control room and the landing bay, right? But I mean, could you imagine? I want a giant ion cannon, please.
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
You need two of them for obvious reasons. I'm not
Obviously.
Obviously,
yeah. Obviously.
All right, guys. Well, let's wrap it up. Unless we have anything else to add, I think we have some homework to do. We have some more live streams to catch. We have some more videos because again, I'm all in on what they've announced and what like I said, it gets excited for the future of Black Series. I think Black Series especially has been knocking out of the park lately. And ever since Darth Maul's Sith Speeder and Stap, I want to get that involved and yeah, man, it looks so. I'm excited to hopefully get my hands on that Mustafar set, that duel. And hopefully maybe they could just give us a pack of Force hands for the other
for sure.
Stuff. Yeah, but I need a Kit Fisto one because and a smiling Kit Fisto. So
that'd be cool. That'd be cool.
Smiling Kit Fisto.
A smiling Kit Fisto with the Force
and one of him going like this.
Yeah. Yeah. But anyway, if you guys have any last thoughts, let's get out of here. I think I don't know if we'll stay on schedule as far as like another 2 weeks. We'll do another Sarlacc toy chest on not next Monday, but the following Monday. We'll get back onto every other week as we lead up into Comic-Con. I don't think we're going to hear anything until Comic-Con. I think it's a month away, and let's anticipate that. There are, I think, on those Halloween figures it says this fall, so we'll pay attention on those. And yeah, I think we're done here. We're good. Yeah, Alex, SKN, you got the floor, man.
Hey, well, we're starting this off. You guys aren't. I know you guys are enjoying the toy chest on Mondays, and especially 2 weeks in a row. That always
I don't know
makes
what's going on. Can't spoil them.
Makes it great and everything. It just makes a long week for us boys over at SKN and Blitz Transmissions, though. But
we appreciate it. Yeah.
But hit us on Wednesday, Toy Box Chronicles. Last week we had Chris Scott, who has a Kickstarter up right now, World War Hell. If you haven't checked it out, if you're into 3 3/4, and I know Scott is, it's hitting your fancy. Best part about it, it's at 80% funded.
Wow.
28 days ago, so it's gonna make it. So go over there and check those out if you're a fan of the little guys and not the 6-inch figures. And then on Friday, hey, we've been kind of just rolling out and doing great things as well, man, on Pixel Plastic and ink and everything. It's been it's fun to get on Friday nights and it's fun to get on Wednesday nights, man. But you know what, the thing that always works is that hardest working man in all of YouTube. It's hard to chase after Tommy.
Yeah.
Nah, I don't believe it.
We'll all be paying him soon.
Yeah, right. No way. But yeah, after I decided to actually show up to an episode of Sarlacc Digest Toy Chest, I'm right now I'm working my way through my reviews of the Hot Toys Bad Batch. I got Hunter coming up next here. There he is.
Awesome.
But
they're so good.
Just today, part of the reason my videos haven't been as consistent as they usually are, which is like every 6 hours, my computer, my laptop, which I'm recording on right now, no longer can handle editing on Adobe Premiere. So I took a quick, painless, and very, very expensive trip to Best Buy this afternoon.
Toys to buy, not computers.
For the first time, I got myself a new PC. So I got a PC, a full
right.
tower, got the editing software, and I got my
PC.
So what's that?
That's right, Scott. PC.
Yeah,
That's where it's at. You
Got
know
an
why?
HD.
Because now he can game too. Not
No.
just sit there looking
Oh.
pretty.
I'm
Once
an
a week.
Xbox kid. I'm an
Yeah,
Xbox kid.
exactly.
But yeah, this computer will be just for editing videos, and I'm very excited for things to move along much quicker. So
Nice. Awesome,
lots of
awesome.
reviews coming up. I've got this week I want to try and get out a HasLab pitch, which I haven't done in a while. The last one that I did was Black Series Obi-Wan and Anakin's Jedi Interceptors.
Yep.
And this time I think I want to do the Attack of the Clones Arena Beasts with a little bit of like set pieces in
Yes,
there.
please.
I think that'd be a really cool Black Series, not play set, but vignette diorama style.
Accolade would be
So,
like, yeah,
Dude.
hell yeah, let's go.
yeah, wouldn't
Let's
that be
go.
sick?
Yes, yes, yeah, I'm all in on
so
that. Yeah,
That's what I'm working on right now. Yeah, you need to make sure you're subscribed to Shadow Nose Network. You need to make sure you're subscribed to Sarlacc Digest so you can see when Alex and I will be on the channel next.
Yeah.
That's the only reason that you would watch.
Hey, you keep putting those super chats to keep
Yeah.
Tommy and I over here.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
I always said if I can't get these two, we're not doing this, right, Scott? I'm not doing.
That's
it.
right. That's right.
It'd just be boring.
The
two
hell?
guys with all the controls just battling in the comment section.
That's
putting
right.
Black Series and Vintage Collection. Then
I
instead of
spit
being-
on Black Series.
But you got to do it with no shoes.
Yeah, with no shoes.
That's even. I think that's the icing on the cake right there.
Mhm.
But okay, cool. Yeah, links are in the description below for all our affiliates, and of course, we appreciate everybody in the pit. Appreciate you guys coming on again last minute. I know, but it was much needed. Wednesdays, our flagship. Yeah, it's certainly about
It's
to join.
already about to join.
We might have to if these guys bounce. We might have to. Yeah. Wednesdays, of course, we'll continue our Star Wars weekly and getting to all the Star Wars news, rumors, and theories going around. We got a good one this week. I say that every week, but we actually
You
got
do.
a good one. We're gonna be talking some Spaceballs too and see where that is because that was announced. Oh my
Yeah.
god! That's the whole thing, right? It's like
Yeah.
Star Wars has the spin-offs, man. That's where it's at. So we're gonna talk about that. Plus, again, bring in all the extra Star Wars stuff that's needed. Again, thank you guys. Discord link is in the section below. Hit that because the conversation always continues. Like, subscribe, hit that notification, and with that, Scott,
Keep it nerdy, everybody.
bye-bye. Black Series.
And what's up, nerds?
This is Grand Admiral Thrawn. You are listening to the Sarlacc Digest. What a fascinating play on words.